For anglers who enjoy the raw power of a Chinook salmon, nowhere provides better fishing than the western New York waters of Lake Ontario. Mark and Jake Romanack find themselves on the familiar waters of Lake Ontario near the mouth of the Niagara River. On this go-round, Mark and Jake toss in a different wrinkle, showcasing a new bait produced by Yakima Bait Company known as the spinfish on this week's episode of Fishing 411 TV.
Wow, this is absolutely stellar.
What a gorgeous fish. We're gonna get a quick picture for Facebook and then she's going back to do some spawning. Hooked up, Dad.
Are you hooked up?
I'm just trying to eat some breakfast.
I was gonna say you had a Pop-Tart last night. I looked at you were eating a Pop-Tart.
Sun's coming up and we're eating Pop-Tarts and king salmon are biting on the downriggers.
Oh my goodness. The fisherman's breakfast, Pop-Tarts. Hey, it seems to work, man. It seems to work. So.
Oh, this fish is green as all get out. Got him at the back of the boat here already, Dad. I'm gonna try to keep him out of my diver. There we go, I'm swinging around.
Let me cut it in front of you here. Maybe I can help out here. Whoa, where is he going? He is hot.
There we go.
Woo, now he's down in the rigger. Whoa! He swam into the net, Jake.
Good.
I'd like to take credit for that, but the fish actually swam into the net.
Sometimes it's better to be good than lucky, I guess.
I'm afraid you're right about that. Woo, man, Lake Ontario Kings, that was a wild one. Holy smokes.
All right, well, you can see the sun's coming up. It's an absolute beautiful morning. It's a little bit bumpy out here, but we got king salmon. That's not a very big one. That's a 2-year-old king, but this system has so many king salmon in it right now. So you're gonna get a lot of those 2, 3, and 4-year-old fish. And we're gonna put this one in the box. That's the perfect one for the grill.
That's a grill fish
Absolutely
right there.
Perfect.
And I can't wait to put him on the grill.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this rigger reset. That fish came on a downrigger and it was about 42 feet down. And the reason why I say 42 feet is because that's where our temperature is at right now. Now what we use with a downrigger is a system called a fish hawk. And that's a temperature probe that gives us temperature down at depth. That is so important for these king salmon. They like to be anywhere in that 50 to 55 degree range. And right now we're seeing a huge temperature change from about 35 is where it starts to about 45. 42 seems to be that sweet spot, about 52 degrees, and that's what it's taking to get bit. Now what we do with the information that we have on the downrigger, now I know where the temperature is at. So I can set my divers to that depth, I can put lead core and copper lines in that depth, and the key is to stack as many lines in that temperature zone as possible, and that's how you put a lot of salmon in the boat.
Jake, looks like I'm hooked up on a weighted steel here. You know, Jake talked about catching the fish on a downrigger. The key to salmon fishing is to spread out your lines and get as much gear in the water as you possibly can. And so while downriggers are very effective, on a small boat like this, we're fishing out of a 196 Fishmaster, you're only going to get 2 riggers on. Thank you, Jake. So if you want to get some more lines in the water, you're going to have to do some other creative things. Diver planers are very popular. Weighted steel like I have in my hand right here is a good option. And lead core is another very good option. Not only are you covering more water, you have the potential to cover those precise depths that Jake was talking about, right where the temperature is good, right where the salmon are stacked up. And that's exactly what we're trying to do today. You know, all of this sounds simple, but it's a little challenging on a day like today. Gotta laugh a little bit because as fishermen, the people we love to hate are weathermen. If you're a weatherman, I'm sorry I'm going to offend you, but man, oh man, today was called for 5-mile-an-hour winds, light and variable. It is anything but light and variable out here today. So this seems like, as a fisherman's perspective, weathermen get it wrong more than they get it right. That was a lot of work for a very small salmon. Thank you, Jake.
Special considerations are provided by Cisco Fishing Systems and Striker brands. Go early, go late, go prepared. Additional considerations provided by Fishhawk Electronics. Trolling without a fishhawk is called boating.
I'm setting a line that's called weighted stainless steel, and it's made by torpedo divers, and it's becoming very popular here in the Great Lakes. These heavy sinking lines, some people use braided copper as well, help fish at great depths. And the way we fish these is just like we do with lead core. We use a segment. In other words, we pick a length of line, put a leader on it and backing on it, and away we go. In this case, this is 300 feet. It's going to fish me down about 65 to 70 feet. And that's a very effective setup here that we have. We can put this on a planer board and send it out to the side so we can cover a little bit more water. The reason we like weighted steel over copper lines is because copper tends to snarl and backlash very easily. And if it gets a tangle in it, you just can't untangle it. This weighted stainless steel stuff is really user-friendly, doesn't snarl, doesn't backlash at all, and so it's just a lot simpler to operate, especially on a day like today when it's very bumpy out here, and tangles are something we just don't want to deal with today.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Listen to that drag sizzle. Dad was nice enough to give me the downrigger. Turn the clicker off. He is going to scream out a mile of line. This is a big king. Woo! There's something special about coming out on big water, catching big fish like king salmon. A little rough today, but it's okay. It's all part of the experience, man. You got big waves and big fish. Woo! We're gonna get spooled if we're not careful here. I gotta slow down. I'm gonna slow the boat down a little bit, see if I can't actually turn this fish. I have yet to turn him. And there ain't a lot of line left on that spool. There we go. So I'm really excited about this king, more so than I guess any other fish, because this fish bit on a new bait from Yakima Bait Company. It's getting really popular on the West Coast. It's called the spin fish. And I'm super excited because it's the first day that we got to put it in the water. The sun's hardly even up, and boom, we got a king on. So I can't wait to get this fish in and then show you this product, because it is a very, very cool tool to catch kings, and I'm guessing it's going to be one of those go-to tools here in the future. Reel down.
Not quite there.
Come on, baby. Play nice at the back of the boat.
Don't let him in that rigger line. There we go. Look at that.
All right. Got him in the net, Dad. Nice
I got
fish.
it. Whoa, Jake, I can't even lift him in the splash well. What was I thinking? Why did I pass that rod off? Oh, man. Nice
Very
fish,
cool.
kid. Nice fish. Oh, that is amazing.
Oh, Dad, look at this king. You know, one of the things I recommend before you come to Lake Ontario, go to the gym. You might want to go for a little workout, get your muscles ready before you show up here. That is an absolute tank. They caught it on this new bait from Yakima, and once I put this fish in the box, I'm going to show you this bait because it is a super cool lure that you're going to want to have in your tackle box. Put kings like this in the boat. So let me take a second and show you this cool bait. This bait is called the Spin Fish. It's produced by Yakima Bait Company, a new product for this season. I'm super excited about it. What it is a rotating plug, but it's even more than that. If you take this thing apart, you can actually put scent inside it, and that is such an important thing for salmon fishing. So you can really get creative. On the West Coast, they're taking canned tuna, they're putting Procure in it. There's a lot of different stuff. That fish came with Procure, put right inside this plug. When you close it, then it has that nice rotation in the water. If you team that up with a fish flash, this is a 4-inch fish flash and about a 5-foot fluorocarbon leader. And that's what it took to put that fish in the boat. Hopefully today we'll catch a couple more fish on this presentation because like I said, it's new, but it's really popular on the West Coast, and it's something that I know is going to become very popular here in the Great Lakes.
All right, well, we're going to set up a weighted steel line here. We've got our leader out, we've got our lure out, we've got all of the steel, in this case 300 feet, and now we're into the braid backing. It's time to hook it up on the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the line, I'm going to wrap it around this rubber plunger about 3 times. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and close the plunger. Then I'm going to go to the back of the board here, and I'm going to put the line in the snapper in the back of the board, and I'm going to close it. And then I'm going to bring just a little bit of slack line in here. I'm going to slide it just a little bit to give a little bit of slack line there. So if I want the tail flag to work, the tail flag will work as well. We'll drop it in the water, send it out to the side. That's how we fish the weighted steel on the OR-12.
Special considerations are provided by Trailmaster Trailers and Daiwa Corporation. Special considerations are provided by Procure, ruthlessly effective bait scents. Eagle Claw presents the 411 on fishing.
You know, if you've watched Fishing 411 in the past, you've definitely seen us fish trocar hooks. In the world of treble hooks, not all treble hooks are created equally. In the trocar series, they have 2 different series. They have the 300 series and they have the 310 series. And they're 2 different hooks for 2 extremely different applications. We're gonna start with the 300 series. Let's see here, I got the 300 in my hand right here. And you can tell with the 300 series, it's a round hook, a round bend treble hook. And what I love this hook for is for species like trout and salmon. They have very hard mouths, and that round hook does a great job. When you get that hook in there, it stays in there. The 310 series has more of a reverse hook. Now it's got a wider gap, but the point of the hook comes back towards the shank of the hook. And that is a tremendously awesome hook for species like walleye, smallmouth that do a lot of jumping. So when you're looking at treble hooks, they're not all created equally. If you want to look at something for trout and salmon, you want to look at that 300 series of trocar. And if you're a walleye or maybe a smallmouth fisherman, you can't go wrong with the 310 series from trocar.
Whoa, Jake, I can't even lift him in the splash well.
Oh, Dad, look at this king.
Well, this week's episode was filmed on Lake Ontario, and it was filmed out of a little town called Lewiston, New York. We've been here often in the past, and we'll come back many times in the future. This is a really nice fishing community, and you just can't beat the salmon fishing you find out on the Niagara Bar. We just hooked up. Run, Mr. Salmon, run! Oh, I love that. Never gets old. King salmon do their thing, man. Never gets old. Oh, Jake, you took my clicker off. I like listening to the clicker.
I'm sure the folks at home are appreciative.
They don't want the clicker in the mic. Okay, all right. I get it. So, for the poor folks at home, we will stop doing that. I'm not going to gain any ground on this guy for a little bit. Well, just to explain kind of what's going on here, you know, this is a 300 weighted steel, and we put it on an offshore board, and it was out to the side, a good 100 feet or so out to the side when this fish bit. So I haven't even got the planer board back yet. So the planer board's 250 feet away. That's how much line that the fish pulled out. So eventually I'll get the planer board up here close enough. Jake will help me get it off, and then it'll be just me and the fish. But at that point, I still got 300 foot of steel to reel in, and I still got a 50-foot leader to reel in. So a long ways. If you're wondering why anybody in their right mind would use such long leads, in order to get this weighted steel and even lead core to fish the appropriate depths that we need for salmon, we have to put a lot of line on. And it's just part of the deal. And that's very effective. I call it stealth fishing because you can get down to the depth we need to get down to, but you can also put it on a planer board and get out to the side. So you're covering the depths effectively, but you're also covering horizontally, you're covering a lot of water. I'm gonna get down here where I can gain as much ground as possible.
A little bit closer, Dad. Swing that rod tip that way. Get him in the net. Oh, this is gonna be a two-hander. Here we go.
Woo, baby. Feel the burn, man. I tell you what, it is nothing like it in freshwater. You want to get a fish on that really gets your heart pumping, you want to target king salmon in the Great Lakes. Lake Ontario's got it going on, baby. Whoa! On sore arms, that one will really stretch the muscles. Look at that, baby. Woo-hoo! 20 pounds of pure chrome. I love it. King salmon. You know, on Fishing 401, you've seen us use inline planer boards like the OR-12 here by Offshore Tackle many times. We use them for walleye, we use them for trout, we use them for salmon, we use them for just about everything you can imagine to catch. And the reason we like these boards is because they're very versatile. You can do a lot of things by just simply changing the way the board is rigged. This is exactly the way it comes out of the package, and the reason we like this setup for a lot of fishing is because it's ideally suited for fishing monofilament. We do a lot of trolling with monofilament, so that's great. But what if you don't happen to be a monofilament guy? What if you like to troll with a braid? We got a solution for you there as well. I'm going to put that board down and pick up the exact same board, but we've just changed out the releases. Now in this case on the front we have the SAMS release that's on the front here, which is designed to hold braid and also release braid. And on the back here we have something called the snapper, the OR-18 snapper, which again is designed for fishing with braid. So if you happen to be a braid guy, you're looking for the snapper or possibly the SAMS release. If you happen to be a mono guy, you're looking for the OR-16 and the OR-19. And all of them fit perfectly on the offshore OR-12.
Special considerations provided by Precision Trolling, the Troller's Bible. Special considerations provided by the Ultimate Sport Show Tour, Michigan's elite sport shows.
Woohoo, Daddy! Got one on the 10 color. You know, we talked about switching out. We already caught a couple fish on a 10 color. I had a 7 color set on this side, and it just wasn't getting bit, so I took it off, put a 10 color on, and it hasn't been out very long, and we got a king salmon on. Oh, let's see. Swimming at me right now. You know, we talked about the reels a little bit. The other really important thing about the reels with a 6.4 to 1 gear ratio is you got to take your time when you fight these fish. It's nice because when those kings start swimming towards you, you can pick up a lot of line really quick. But the one thing you got to remember is you're trolling 2.5, 3 miles an hour. And when you have a reel, woo, he's screaming. When you have a reel that picks up this much line, if you really start reeling fast, you're putting a ton of pressure on that fish. So just slow and steady is the name of this game. But like I said, that fish started swimming towards me. I was able to pick that line up really quick, and that fish never had an ounce of slack. Woo! Swimming at us now. Let's see, I think we got him controlled now.
There we go, Jakers. Nice king.
That is a beautiful, beautiful Lake Ontario king salmon. This fish came on a mag spoon. This is a silver streak spoon. I think this color right here, it's called Bruja. And we're gonna get this set, but when I set it, I'll show you exactly what I did to catch that fish, because it wasn't just the spoon itself that caught this king. It's a combination of the spoon and scent. But there's something that you wanna do if you're gonna start fishing scent for king salmon. And I'm gonna show you that in a second, right after I put this king in the box. So like promised, I'm gonna show you how I caught that fish. The fish came on this spoon. It's a silver streak spoon. The color is a Bruja. And I love this color. I've caught a lot of fish on this spoon. But I've done something more than just the spoon. It's something that we've been doing more and more in salmon fishing, and that's fishing scent. And I have a ton of faith in scent. Basically what I'm doing is I'm adding this Procure to the spoon itself. Bloody tuna is one of my favorites when it comes to salmon fishing. But I'm not just putting the Pro Cure on the spoon, throwing it out there, and then just keep putting more on. There's more to it than that. And what I like to do is I like to clean the spoon. That fish just came in, there was blood all over, slime all over. Now what I have is a mixture of the scent, salmon scent. It's just not right to that point. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a scrub brush, I'm gonna scrub the lure down, I'm gonna put some soap on it, scrub the lure down, and then I'm gonna add Pro Cure to it. So now what I'm doing is starting with a clean bait with actual scent that smells like the scent that I'm putting on. I'm telling you, if you go to this regiment by just cleaning your baits every time you catch a fish, before you put that lure back out, you're gonna catch a lot more king salmon. Get your heart pounding with those king salmon, man. We have had just a tremendously awesome day.
Ooh, look at that sunshine.
Wow,
is that pretty or what? Yeah, that other line.
When I get him a little bit closer,
you're gonna step back?
I'll step back and let you jump up here, but
yeah,
try to keep him center if possible. A little closer. There we go. Now we got him going to the right side of the boat.
Straight up, Jake. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
I love these king salmon. They never get old. They fight so hard from the start to the finish.
Well, my name is Mark Romanack. On behalf of myself and Jake, we'd like to thank you folks for watching Fishing 411. Hey, I'm going to leave you with a thought. You know, fishing is a lot of fun and life is short. Get out and get your string stretched. Man, go to Lake Ontario. Woo, baby.
We'll see you here same time, same place next week.
Closed captioning is provided by Lakeside Motorsports, Michigan's premier marine and power sports company. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, Ontario, Canada, Starcraft Marine, Yakima Bait Company, Smooth Moves, Niagara Falls, USA, Lowrance Electronics, Evinrude Outboards, and by Jay's Sporting Goods.